Soviet state that enslaved millions and killed tens of millions in slave labor camps, all in the name of economic freedom and a different economic system. What many of you don't understand is that Marxism and Leninism, Trotskyism, all of the isms of the Soviet Union are not quite dead. In fact, they're quite alive. In fact, they are beyond crawling. In fact, they are beyond walking. In fact, they have been walking through our society for at least 50 years. Only right now, they have taken center stage. Today, we're going to play excerpts from a gentleman who went to college with old Barry, and he's going to talk about how Barry Obama was a Marxist in those days. Now, let me pause right here. Many of us have changed from our youth to our adulthood. I am one of them. But we really don't know how far they may have changed from his early enchantments with Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin, and Leon Trotsky. You say, oh, come on, you're way off the mark here. He's just a guy who wants to, make things better for the poor. Here's a man who wants to feed the poor. He's a Robin Hood. Obama's the Robin Hood who is taking from the rich to give to the poor. That is the popular notion of Barry Obama. But if you actually analyze where the money has gone from your pockets, Obama has not taken from the rich to give to the poor. Obama has robbed from the middle to give to the rich. There is no such thing as money falling down to the bottom. Ask the millions who have lost their jobs or their houses. The money is not going down. It's all going up to the banks and the cronies who put them in power. Everybody knows that. Where do you think the stimulus funds have gone? Did you get any of them? Where'd the stimulus money go? To you? But I want to play for you, before we go into a discussion of any of these points and debate with you these topics. And I want to begin with key excerpts from Dr. John C. Drew, who went to college with Barry Obama, who says he was a Marxist. And the source of this is Steve Maltzberg from WOR Radio on Breitbart TV. Let's listen to clip one.
Well, my most vivid memory is how insistent he was in arguing a Marxist-Leninist point of view. He made a very principled, dedicated, impassioned argument that, in fact, a real revolution was coming, and that, in a sense, we should all get on board and prepare ourselves physically and emotionally for that revolution.
Only the naive American voter, oh, how could he be a socialist? He doesn't wear a red beret. He's not marching under a Lenin banner. Don't be silly. He's just a nice man with a nice water spaniel and a nice wife and 2 children trying to do the best for the country. Oh, don't be silly. He's no socialist. John McCain even said he wasn't that nice man, and don't pay any attention to his middle name, Hussein. You don't want to be seen as a racist, do you? You have to see the kind of people he is surrounding himself with. So let's focus again for the minute. I'm making it up. How about all the czars that he's appointed? Those are not my words. Those are his words. The car czar, the money czar, the green czar, this czar, that czar, the snow czar, the climate czar. What do you mean czar? This is unbelievable. These are unconstitutional appointments. These are people with extraordinary powers over our life, all of whom worship either Mao Zedong or Marx or Lenin, by their own admission, by their own publications, by their own writings, by their own speeches, and they're sitting in the center of power in Washington, D.C. under Obama. Why did he pick them? Did he pick any patriots? Did he pick any people who support Washington or Jefferson? Did he pick any people as a czar who might respect the other side of the spectrum? Not one. All of them are outright Marxists. 2 of them are gone now. Van Jones thrown out because he was exposed for what he is. Anita Dunn thrown out because she actually said she worshipped Mao Zedong equal to Mother Teresa. That was the end of her. But this would indicate to you who the man is who he's picking for his czars, right? It should, unless you're Tom Brokaw, unless you work for ABC News, you should understand the danger we are in. Now, here comes the punchline of all of these sound excerpts from this Dr. Drew, who went to school with Barry. I want you to listen to clip 5 and remember it carefully.
There was a sense that the Soviet Union was a more advanced society, and even though it had made mistakes under Stalin, there was still greater equality over there, and it was a better model for us than what we saw with our existing U.S. government. I'd go to my grave saying that he was arguing Marxist-Leninism.
Oh, no, I believe that.
All right, so let's go back to the Soviet Union for a moment. I'm going to give you one example of what nationalization did in the Soviet Union so that you get a snapshot. And you don't have to have a degree in political science to understand this. Joseph Stalin, dictator. Well, when he first came to power, the farms in the Soviet Union were individually owned by small farmers. They had small farms. Small family farms were producing the crops of the Soviet Union. And they were quite productive, and the people were eating fairly well. They were called kulaks. They were individual landowners. Joseph Stalin said, we can do it better with a centralized plan. We can eliminate the profit motive of these greedy farmers. We are going to nationalize all the farms in the Soviet Union. We're going to collectivize them, he called it. And we're going to make this one giant collectivist agricultural system, which will be more efficient, centrally planned by these brilliant bureaucrats in Moscow and the Politburo. And he did that. He stole the land from the kulaks. He arrested many of them. He killed many of them in slave labor camps, ordinary men and women like you or people you know. He killed them, mutilated them, and the government ran all of the farms in the Soviet Union. In the 1930s, this led to the disaster of 30 million Soviets starving to death because the government's efficiencies turned out to be a fiction.
Savage.